Hello, and welcome to the CryptoWave podcast, where we keep you up to date on all the latest news, trends, and people that are making waves in crypto. I'm Jennifer from Space Coast Crypto Consulting, and joining me here today to talk crypto, Jesse and Joey.
Hi, everybody. Good evening.
Hello.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I can tell. What an opening.
Lots of exciting things happening this weekend. The crypto sector just moves so quickly, and you really have to stay one step ahead. And over the past week, we did see a bit of a sell-off in the market. The market was spooked a little bit.
A little.
Holy crap.
Hey, if you're not used to these 20-30% drawdowns by now, get used to it, because they happen often.
Bitcoin went more than 25%, right?
It was at $48.
It was at 69 and down to almost
48.
39.
It was 39 or 48? 39?
Well, we were testing resilience.
Yeah.
With a floor of 40,000, and people thought that maybe it would breach.
I saw that it went down to 42,000.
Yeah. Only 42?
I don't know
I thought
that
it was
it went
42.
down farther than that. I don't know. When
It's
it
still
gets
a big, yeah.
when it gets
It's a big
crazy
drop.
and volatile like that, I like to not look and think about something else.
And then how many
because
people
I know
jumped in?
long term that it's gonna go back up. So what happened? What we saw in the market, lots of long positions were liquidated, and so when there's a lot of excess leverage in the market, so people are like, oh, it's gonna go up forever. I'm betting 10x, 100x that it's gonna go up. People get greedy and they put in all of these long positions, and there are algorithms and stuff and all of these platforms that can see that people have those positions, and they like to liquidate and just wipe people out.
So,
and once one gets liquidated, it's just kind of a cascading effect where it just like boom, boom, boom happens, and you can see some large drawdowns. But 80% of all of the Bitcoin that is in circulation is held by wallets that hold that have held for a year or longer. So these people, the big moves that we're seeing in the market are from people that are trading. So majority of people are actually just holding. We're seeing all of the Bitcoin flow off of exchanges into storage, into cold wallets and hard wallets.
Yeah, I saw that the other day.
So it also mimicked the regular stock market.
Yeah.
Which begs to question the same people who are long in deep-pocketed whales were liquidating their positions in both both markets, both the crypto space and
when the market gets
space.
spooked, and there were a few reasons why the market was spooked.
One reason, let's be honest. It wasn't Omicron. They want to blame it on Omicron. No, it's because inflation.
No,
Yeah.
It's not transitory.
Yeah, so Jerome Powell did come out and say, "Oh, well, maybe it's not transitory."
Well, again, you're not
This is
spooking
so
people.
Unexpected.
Inflation is
we
good.
all knew it. They admitted it.
They
That's
told
what spooked
us
the market.
But they're telling us now that inflation is good for us. That's what they're
only
trying to sell.
people who are dumb enough to believe them.
But that's what they're trying to sell.
I know what they're trying to sell, and listen, and they're filled. They've been filled with propaganda.
Yeah,
You
and
know, now they're saying like heart arrhythmias and heart expanding and all this stuff is a recoverable thing. Anyway, so that's why I was spooked. And again, the same whales who have big positions in the market also have big positions with Bitcoin, and then you saw why they both went parallel dips. It wasn't like only the whales in this market went south and this held steady. It was the same people who have big positions in both.
Have you ever looked at the market at, like, if you ever wake up in the middle of the night, have you ever looked at your track, go to like your wallet, or go to crypto wallet or Coinbase, and everything's like, when you go to bed, everything's red. And then the other night I went to bed, everything was red. It looked like everything was just red. I got up at about 3:30 in the morning, and I said, let me just take a look. I'm just going to peek. Everything was green. I'm like, what the hell is going on? It was like in a 3-4 hour time period.
Who's on the other side of the world that's trading?
Yeah,
like
it was
Asia markets.
It was like the other side of the world woke up and said, all right, I'm buying today.
Yeah, well, and when you see the red, I mean, just like whoever bought the dip, congratulations. That's exactly what you should do.
Exactly.
That's exactly what we've been saying this whole time, because even though it stressed that resilience, so we just saw a new floor, and it looks like it's 42,000. I don't think it's ever going to be that low again. Mark my word.
All right.
Mark it here.
We'll write it down.
At this time,
Right here.
at 5 minutes,
5 minutes into
to the
the
show.
episode.
Nothing
Jesse.
that we say here is financial advice. We are not financial
disclosed,
That's
advisors.
right. We only do this.
Disclose.
This is just for fun and entertainment.
No, and like we're kind of speculating right
Yeah.
along with everybody else.
Yeah.
Like we have throughout the months gone over the Plan B stock to flow model chart, and at one point we were calling for a $90,000 Bitcoin. I know I said that by the end of November, and here we are, like a quarter
Early
of a way
December,
through December, and we're retesting resistance again. So, we don't know the path that it's going to take, but we zoom out and take a bigger look, and I mean, history has shown that it has just gone up and to the right.
Right, and it's near the holidays, and everybody wants cash out. They need that
Yeah,
GI Joe with the Kung
taxes.
Fu Grupp, just like they did in Trading Places. If you remember, Eddie Murphy made the call on the commodities. He said people are selling because they need to buy the Christmas presents. The Kung Fu GI Joe with the Kung Fu grip.
All right,
I
so
love this G.I. Joe reference. Everyone's like Trading Places. Now,
hey, who
you
wants,
know, we have a lot of young listeners.
It's with Eddie Murphy.
And
Hey.
Dan Aykroyd.
And Dan
Great,
Aykroyd.
great
who wants
movie.
to be Snoop Dogg's neighbor?
Me.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Get a second
Get
hand.
a contact high.
Yeah,
for
contact
sure.
highs.
Snoop
Secondhand
Dogg
smoke.
has some land. Well, there's some land available for sale next to Snoop Dogg in the metaverse for $450,000. You could be Snoop Dogg's neighbor.
Is it being sold as fiat, $450,000, or like 11 Ethereum?
No, it's an Ethereum. So
Yeah.
it's the virtual land is in the Snoopverse, which is an interactive
Snoopverse.
world that Snoop Dogg is developing in Sandbox. So Sandbox is based on the Ethereum network, so everything's priced in Ethereum.
I'm gonna have a brownie stand next door.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, Snoop Dogg has been a front runner, a big player in the NFT space, and now he is building in the metaverse. So it's pretty cool to see how he can use his influence to affect the market there.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell some tie-dye shirts in the marketplace for everybody. You know, some wild wigs, custom joints. I think the avatars are gonna be like pretty wild. You know, I think that instead of like you're gonna have to choose between like white pearly eyes or like the bloodshot eyes. I'm gonna sell the bloodshot eyes for
Oh.
people's avatars
Oh,
because you can't be in Snoopverse without bloodshot eyes.
The Snoopverse.
Yeah, so it's definitely the Snoopverse within the Sandbox.
Yep.
It's got to have, I mean, come on. I mean, there's got to be a Netflix nearby or some kind of like movie theater. I mean, think of all the things, you know, a Snoopverse should have. Popcorn stands, you know, things with munchies, you know, pretty much all the carnival food you could have, like some fried dough. Think of like all the cool munchies in the world.
Sure.
All the cool accessories, you know, some blinged out, you know, chains, you know. All those things that make Snoop so original and such an icon.
Need a sunglass hut.
A sunglass hut, yeah.
All right.
So-
So last week we talked about
So I could talk about that
I know.
more and more.
She cuts us right off. You
Yeah, it's
notice
okay.
that, Jess?
just moving right along. We got lots to cover. So last week we did talk about Jack Dorsey stepping down as CEO of Twitter. So it seems
Whose
like
name we should not repeat.
it seems like there's a new trend amongst big mega corporations. So Facebook has renamed to Meta. We've seen like Google in the past rename to Alphabet, and now we have Square, which is Jack Dorsey's other company that he is the CEO of, several close to $100 billion company. He has now renamed to Block. So interesting choice.
No, it's fitting for a blockhead like him.
Yes, I was thinking blockchain.
Well, no, we all know, but we are talking with JD, whose name we shall not say.
All right, so within Square, or shall we say Block, they offer many different financial products. They have in-person payments with the Square that you can attach to your phone, and then they also have acquired the Afterpay service, which is like a buy now, pay later, which is like a new trend in a different way of structuring debt. They also have like a title music application, and then they are also the owner of Cash App, Jesse caught a fly over there.
You don't have to do play-by-play.
All right, so they do have a statement. They call it the block statement. I'm just going to share it with you, and this will kind of explain a little bit more of their vision.
Blah,
of where
blah, blah, blah. Jack Dorsey, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. So,
and we're so proud. Don't forget to throw that in.
The name has many associated meanings for the company.
Why the long side? Let Jennifer deliver the news.
Because it's PR crap. You know it and I know it because we know where it's coming from.
Building blocks, neighborhood blocks. They're local businesses, communities coming together at a block party full of music. And a blockchain sector of code and obstacles to overcome. That's their block statement. So,
a 12-year-old could have written that.
I was just going to say, this was written out of a first-year PR kid in school. What a bunch of crap.
Okay, well, regardless of your feelings personally for
our audience,
JD.
they
for
love
JD,
it.
Whose name shall not be mentioned.
Right.
For JD, he is a large proponent of crypto and Bitcoin now. One of their sister companies has actually been renamed as well. So they have Square Crypto. All right. So they are now changing the name of Square Crypto to Spiral. And the reason why is because they don't want to give the wrong message of crypto, because he wants to solely focus his attention on Bitcoin and helping to build out the Lightning Network. So one of their products that they offer is the Lightning Development Kit, and this is to help onboard businesses and help with infrastructure and payment rails as far as building out the Lightning Network.
But you can look at a spiral as a negative because the spirals get screwed.
And it's usually downward.
Yeah.
You don't hear of upward spirals.
That's right. Interesting.
You guys are deep thinkers.
No, we just have a mind for, what is an image? What, if you're going to say a word, what's the connotation? What's the illustration that somebody's going to have?
Yeah.
Okay. Spiral.
Spiral out of
corkscrew,
control.
spiral out of control, something, none of them are really exciting.
It's not a positive word.
Well, again, it has a negative connotation to it.
Yeah, although a spiral staircase.
Downward spiral. Oh,
Yeah.
You see him? Oh, yeah. He lost his job, and now he's lost his wife and kids, and he's on a downward spiral.
What do you guys think out there? Do you think that spiral is a negative
Positive
word?
or negative connotation?
Or negative. We're open to all sides.
Yeah, you don't have to listen to Joey and I. We're dumb.
Yeah.
We're just the sidekicks.
We're just talking heads on YouTube.
We're the sidekicks.
Speaking of YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and hit
Nice
the bell
pl-
notification
nice
to be
plug.
alerted.
She's so good.
She's so good. What a plug.
Yes. Okay, so speaking of blockheads,
I didn't watch the Charlie Brown Christmas this year.
It's still early.
I know. I missed it.
I watched Christmas Vacation.
Don't even tell me, because I don't have a TV. I don't have access to a TV. And so I usually watch
you have like 100
one
TVs right in front
movie.
Of you. You have like
No, these
one,
are
two,
these
three,
are monitors.
4.
These are monitors. I don't have a Netflix attached to these monitors.
You
But I usually
could.
do the one.
You could just log
one
in.
every night. You watch a
movie.
Christmas,
Right.
And there's so many good ones. Surviving
So
Christmases,
far, I've
Four
watched
Christmases,
Elf.
You have to Christmas Vacation,
Christmas Vacation, and Home Alone.
I have to tell
Scrooge.
Scrooge. I watched that the other night. Monday night. It
Yeah,
was on.
Scrooge. Yeah, that's one with Bill
Yeah.
Murray. One of the best ever.
I have to tell you.
Christmas Carol, the Muppets Christmas Carol, so good.
I have to tell you. My new favorite Christmas movie
Yeah.
was Christmas Chronicles. That was on Netflix with
That-
Kurt Russell.
that was
To
sweet. It was a very sweet-
I've watched it 3 times. I
It's
cried all 3 times.
I know. It's
I
so
cried all
sweet.
3 times. I think he's been the best Santa. I think
He
he's
is.
the best Santa. The coolest Santa.
And I love the Santa's Workshop and the whole world they
the
created.
whole world, everything was
Yeah.
so cool. Digital at the end, him
Yeah.
singing in jail. It was just, he was just
fun.
hip. It was just, I
You
think
heard
that's
it,
my number
guys.
one.
Make sure you
I think
check
that's
out
my
the
number one
Christmas
Christmas
Chronicles,
movie.
okay?
I think that's my number one Christmas movie.
There needs to be a Christmas world in the metaverse. A place that's
There
like the
probably
North
will.
Pole.
Yeah.
With Santa and reindeer all year long.
Build it.
Yeah, I know. I have to build it now.
Someone's going
Yeah.
to build it.
Snowmen. snowmen all
It'll
around
be
and
just
Christmas trees.
wonderful.
Yeah, it would be a corner of the
elves and-
metaverse, because I think there's going to be. Listen, I think Disney's going to end up buying the metaverse. Mark my
yeah.
words, Disney, if you're listening, just give me a little credit. Just put like a little ride called Jesse's
all
Ride in there
let's
somewhere.
mark that down. 15 minutes into the show, so we have 2 predictions, and it's not even our year-end show.
Well, our year-end show, we're gonna have lots of predictions, so make sure you're tuned into that because
This is just a
I'm writing them
preview.
down.
This is the
yeah.
preview. Prelude, preview. Preview?
Prelude.
Prelude.
The prelude.
Prelude to the
Stop
preview.
mispronouncing it. Praline. Pray out loud.
Somebody pray for us.
Right.
All right, so
All right,
moving
back on track.
right
Tell us,
along,
Jennifer.
Facebook has retreated their crypto ban. They previously in the year banned advertising on crypto on their platform.
On the platform.
Yes.
But,
so now,
but banned from crypto spaces or
like just even they at one point they even banned the hashtag Bitcoin.
They're so weird.
But yet you follow on Facebook.
And I know that I was shut down.
That's why I think Facebook is monitored by the CIA or the government or something.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And also, like, they are under some scrutiny right now.
Scrutiny.
So a few months ago, we talked about Facebook's Project DM they're rolling out their wallet as a test pilot. Actually, the Nexo wallet, I believe it was called.
Nexo
or Nevo wallet. And it's a piloting program between Guatemala and the U.S. and just testing out using Paxos, which is a stable coin with cross-border payments. So that actually came up today, and we're going to talk about this on the second half of the show.
Okay.
It came up under some scrutiny.
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 I'm hearing scrutiny. Scrutiny.
It came under some scrutiny.
See, Shane, scrutiny.
Jesse's giving us grammar lessons today. Did you notice that, Jennifer?
Yeah.
No, I just want people to understand that we're
I
trying to.
I didn't realize this was
express the show in English.
Correctly,
This is,
but
like-
I cannot.
Jesse's like My Fair Lady, Dr.
Scrutiny.
The Mr. Higgins in My Fair Ladies.
All right, so basically, Facebook is running a test pilot with Guatemala and the U.S. transmitting cross-border payments using Facebook's Rails, creating this wallet, using this stablecoin Paxos, right? Well, the Congress is worried that could threaten the U.S. dollar as global reserve currency if it opens up to the whole world. I mean, they have like 3 billion users out of the 7 or 8 billion people that are on the planet. So very threatened by this. That came up today, and it has been coming up, several times.
I think our country has to worry about, besides Guatemala, I think they have to look within and look at our own issue and what's going on, as opposed to.
Well, don't be cryptic. Spell it out. Which thing that we have to? I mean, there's a lot of things.
I'm letting the audience figure out.
I think we all need to look within.
But we can't just be this
issues.
cryptic.
Well, all right. You want me to be honest?
Yeah. I mean, we'll just be straightforward and not beating around the bush.
No, I mean, if you look around what's happening in our country, I mean, we shouldn't be. They should be.
We shouldn't focus on the
we have to
reserve currency being manipulated.
We should be worried about the reserve. We should be worried about our oil. We should be worried about our gas. We should be worried about our inflation. We should be worried about making decisions that are not helping the middle class. They're killing the middle class. It cost me $20 extra to put gas in my car today. I mean, it's just ridiculous. That extra $20, somebody that's barely making it, that's their money to take their kids to Chuck E. Cheese. They fill up twice a week. That's $40, $60, that's almost $160 a month for somebody. If they have and mine's not, I don't have a
gas guzzler, right?
I don't have a gas guzzler, but I don't have a tree hugging car either. Not like you with the Prius.
I have a gas.
How did that round about to me?
Because you've been picking on our grammar all afternoon. I had to throw something back at you.
Yeah, you have like an in between my car and his car.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. My hybrid. I mean, and that's why. Honestly, that's why I got it. I mean, not for nothing. The ex-wife took my beautiful brand new Kia away from me, and a friend had a Prius for cheap, so it fell in my lap. And I'll tell you what. it couldn't have happened at a better time because gas prices have been exploding. You know, it would be great to see a petrol coin, to see a coin that appreciates in value. Like because I wanted to do this, and then we'll go to break, and then we'll come back to that thing. Okay, here's what we'll do. I always thought it'd be a great idea to buy futures of oil. Because say I did have, like, for instance, I get commissions. Say I get a nice commission check. And it'd be nice to see something on a horizon. There may be some energy policy trying to be passed, in the legislation. And, people are kind of like, tightening up, their wallets and everything else, preparing for this thing. And then it happens, right? But before it did, when you just see the writing on the wall, you're like, oh, are they really trying to pass this policy where they're going to limit the amount of, say, carbon emissions or anything else, or the amount of refineries, and how much output they're putting, for whatever reason. And if they start limiting the production of refineries or the amount of oil we're importing, if there's any kind of limitation regarding that, the prices are going up per barrel. But what if I could buy per barrel at the lowest today, at today's market price? And then I get to use those reserves, essentially, right, in the future. So when the price of barrel goes from 45 to 65, I'm still paying my 45 because I bought those futures of that pre-price. It's almost like hoarding, as much, I don't know, toilet paper, for instance, before a pandemic.
Are you talking about like trading in the futures markets?
It's like a forever stamp. It's like a forever stamp.
A forever stamp, almost.
You're saying like
I'm buying today's price in gas. And I have those 3,000 credits it's like a forever stamp almost. That's a good analogy. And no matter what the pump says, I could say 350, but I bought it at 250. And so until those credits run out, I'm paying 250 for the next 3,000,
like
gallons.
For gallons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a...
So if there was a petrol coin, and somebody hopefully listening that's smarter than I can, maybe do that, sell a coin that is allowed to like stake,
redeemable for,
and specifically for gas. Yeah. So people can buy today's gas prices and be able to either stake those coins or stake those credits, and when they need to go redeem them, they're not redeeming at today's value, they're redeeming at the value that they bought. Make sense?
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
it's a great idea.
Something like that would be, and then you could do that across the board. But especially for, gas, because gas is one of those things that fluctuates. Bread has pretty much stayed the same. Eggs has stayed the same. Price of beef, again, until recently with all the supply chain deals. But for a lot of these commodities, they don't change a whole lot. Corn doesn't really just go, it's a very gradual, because we're always producing and everything else. So there's no need to, we don't see like, locusts, damage, America's, crop or anything else anymore, and so if some of these commodities are just always going to be there, right? The price of electric, the price of coal, some of these things are they just stay level for a long time. But with gasoline at the pump, at the retail market, it does these kind of things. And I think that'd be a really smart way to utilize and make a coin that has that utility of preserving a price, and within that coin, we are buying actual reserves or whatever else. I don't know what it looks like. Someone out there that's smarter than me, maybe can see what I'm trying to get to, because that would be a really good utility. And we could do that for a lot of different commodities in our life.
Be a very interesting promo for a Walmart or Sam's Club or just a gas, buy gas now.
Anybody that has a retail pump, in their business model, it'd almost be like a equivalent of a gift card.
They asked we're talking about gas. This was a very interesting question. I know we talk about previous administrations, and somebody asked Donald Trump this question a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it was very interesting. They said, you spent a hell of a lot of money. You ran through money left and right. Why didn't you have inflation? He said, because I kept gas and oil prices down. And if you look at the cost of gasoline and oil, what happened? Everything went sky high because everything is so based on gas and oil.
Yeah. I mean, petrol, because, we have to, all of our goods and services, well, not all of our services, but a lot of our goods require petrol to get to where they need to go, either ship, plane, or the interstate, on the freight trucks. So when you have everything running to get those goods from place to place, well, now that cost to get the shipping there has to raise whatever's being shipped. Yeah. So if I'm putting a container full of bread on there, but it's costing me $500 versus $300 to get from New York to Florida, then I got to mark up my bread on that in that container, okay, to afford the gas for it to get from my factory to the stores.
I don't know how many folks we have from the north that are watching, but I feel sorry as we get closer to the colder weather and they're buying oil for their homes, and those people who have oil tanks, like my family, my sister, and my niece.
You're gonna see some blizzards. There's gonna be some. I mean, unfortunately, I think there's gonna be some people who are gonna do without, and you're gonna see some people.
Terrible what's happening.
Either freeze or get severe.
They make these decisions.
Hypothermia or something.
They make these tree hugging decisions that just with no ramification. They don't even think.
Or maybe they do, and maybe they're just sinister. Maybe it's a very sinister plot. I don't know, but anyway, getting back to where we're going to come back from this break, and we're going to talk about what Washington thinks of crypto and more. And how else would you preface the next segment?
Interesting.
And any other words?
Mind-boggling.
Jennifer?
Crypto CEOs testify on Capitol Hill. So
that's the headline I was looking for.
Oh.
Yeah.
When we return, we'll hear what they're saying on the Hill.
What they say on the Hill regarding crypto when we return.
Bye.
Cryptocurrency can be confusing and hard. At Space Coast Crypto Consulting, we make cryptocurrency easy for you to learn and understand. In a world of uncertainty and out-of-control central banks, it's our mission to empower you with the knowledge that you need to confidently control and grow your own crypto portfolio. Call now to begin your crypto journey. 321-412-4021. That's Space Coast Crypto Consulting at 321-412-4021. Welcome back to the CryptoWave podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube and hit the bell notification so you can be alerted whenever we put out this bullish content. Crypto moves fast, and with Space Coast.
I love that. Keep it up.
I just messed up. Space Coast Crypto Consulting. We keep you one step ahead. All right, so coming back to this next segment, we are going to talk about Capitol Hill. The Congresswoman Maxine Waters.
Whose name we shall not...
Jeez, we can't say anybody's name.
Oh, she's just tough.
You guys are so sensitive.
No, it's not being about sensitive. It's about not giving any airtime to people who don't deserve it.
Yeah.
So,
don't get me started with
Chairman Waters. She is the chairwoman of the House Committee for Financial Services. What was that?
Crook.
Oh,
he's got a frog in.
Little
Bless
something in my
you.
throat.
He needs a lozenge.
Gesundheit.
I think your husband
He needs a
has
lozenge.
never mind. Has like
Finish your thought. Go for it.
Yeah.
I've seen mackerel stuffed nicer than her.
What?
Yeah. She's got the face of a mackerel.
Me?
No, Maxine Waters.
What does that have to do with her husband?
He's a taxidermist.
I've seen
Yes.
stuffed mackerel.
Wow. Okay. All right. So Maxine, not me.
Actually, there's an
Let's
old
clarify.
joke. The last time I saw a face like that, it had a hook in it. Oh,
like
they're
that.
coming after me. These are just jokes.
All right. So we're gonna have PETA after us.
PETA. No word about
fish.
PETA. Word.
Anyway, so Chairwoman Waters, okay, she is the chairwoman in the House of Committees of Financial Services, have announced the several witnesses to talk about this digital assets and the future of finance. So understanding the challenges and benefits of financial innovation in the United States. So this was basically a court hearing where CEOs of crypto companies can come and speak their piece, basically. So we had the CEO of Circle speak. We had Sam Bankman-Fried, who is the CEO of FTX. We talk about him often. Brian Brooks, who is the CEO of Bitfury, who was previously with Binance, and previous to that was with Coinbase. the CEO of Paxos, which is a stablecoin, so lots of stablecoin issues came up. They're really worried about stablecoins and how efficient and effective they are used, and worrying about how it can impede on the dollar. And then Miss Dixon from Stellar Foundation, Stellar is XLM, which they are involved in cross-border payments, and then the CEO of Coinbase. So this hearing, they basically are trying to get more regulatory clarity as far as who's going to regulate what. And it was really interesting to see, because everybody got to speak their 5 minutes and kind of just parlay their case. And then it was interesting to see all of the congressmen like come back and ask their questions. And you could really tell and get the feeling of the ones who were on board with crypto and the ones that were just completely against it, just based on their tone and what they were saying. A lot of them, you could find that they really didn't understand what they were even talking about, like asking very just like base layer questions as to what the protocols and the ecosystem of cryptocurrency really are and how it works. So you could see that there was a lot of things that need to be learned. It was really focused a lot around education. How about you? Did you guys watch?
I watched, I watched some of it. I got the same takeaway as you did. What I didn't, and we were talking pre-show, I thought it was just one-sided. I don't think it was bipartisan. It was a committee meeting. It wasn't a courtroom. It was a committee meeting.
Okay.
And it wasn't bipartisan. It was just all run by the one side of the fence, which you don't get to hear questioning on who's for it and who against it. But on the panel, as Jennifer was saying, there were some congressmen who you could tell who were for and who were against, and some that were just plain arrogant. And I didn't particularly care for that, because they're taking their time up as citizens to come up and explain this, and it was almost as if it was they were trying to be adversarial. You could tell how they were despised or afraid that it was going to take over.
Yeah, I'd be afraid just to watch it.
And it was interesting. What I would like to see is if it went to a Senate committee, because now I'm just going to jump ahead because I'm going to jump a little bit ahead because I'm reading more and more about what Senator Warren is getting more involved with banking. Mm-hmm. So we haven't talked about her, but because we're talking about this financial committee, I'm sure she's going to have a lot to say. So we should be looking out to see what Elizabeth Warren has to say about Bitcoin coming up, because apparently President Biden has been giving her more and more authority and regulatory authority on regulation. How
Elizabeth
this is
Warren has been very clear on what she thinks about it. I mean, she repeatedly has said that shows that she doesn't really fully understand it, and that it's used for criminal activity.
It would be nice if some of these people actually got a little bit of some education before they call these people into a committee, because most times it's just an education seminar. These people are like, well, aren't these associated with illegal drugs? And you're like,
well, yeah,
okay, this isn't the scare tactics of 15.
Look at who the board is. Like,
right.
These people are from the legacy financial system. They're old. They're like,
well, they're clueless, and that goes back to where I really wish that they would just ask their staffers, can you give me some quick fundamental education on what this is and what I should be asking, instead of just like going into a committee, being broadcast on C-SPAN for all to see your absolute ignorance, and start creating these like talking points, which you have no basis on, because that's not even your own opinion. That's talking points from some other talking head or some other article you read from somebody else who has no experience, no education, and know nothing about it. And so all they do is show their true colors, that they refuse to get educated about it. They refuse to get any kind of other authority to just kind of get in between them and the actual committee hearing and say, tell us what we need to know and what we need to ask. Like, what are the fundamentals? Yep. How does it work? And instead, they just show their true colors. They're ignorant, and they're out there with just the same talking points as all the other articles that just produce fear and propaganda.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you remember during the hearing, there was one of the gentlemen, give me the second name, not the young kid with the curly hair. He was the more established. Robert, was it Robert?
Brian Brooks.
Brian
maybe?
Brooks, maybe.
Yeah.
And he was explaining. He was actually going over the basics. You remember he was talking about a layer. Do you recall that? That was way in the beginning. He was giving us 5-minute that it's complicated, but he said, I'm going to simplify this for you. And he was kind of laying it out that it's a layer. And he was kind of explaining.
So layer ones and layer twos, and then you have the just the ecosystem where you have protocols and infrastructure.
Right. And the blockchain versus Bitcoin versus Ethereum. You know how he was saying what's built on the Ethereum?
Uh-huh.
I thought that was very interesting. It really was educational if they kind of absorbed it instead of started attacking, thinking that it was going to collapse everything, and that there is some legitimacy behind all this, and that it's not just done by 4 guys in mommy's basement.
Well, the thing is, like, this is happening. The infrastructure and all of these amazing things are being built, and the U.S. can either embrace this and help to build it and be a front runner, or they can push out innovation and stifle innovation. It's just going to go offshore.
And that's interesting too, because that was brought up too. And they said, why is it that one of the banks, or one of them had to go to Canada, and we're bringing everything offshore, but here we are, America. Here we are.
Yeah. So Canada has put out and approved an ETF. So Americans can actually go to Canada and participate in their ETF to get Bitcoin exposure, but why can't the U.S. approve one?
Yeah, that was interesting. It's like, why are neighbors here? We are America, and we're sitting back.
Yeah, and it's all at the preface that it's for the public's protection, but who is it protecting?
We don't need protection.
Lobbyists.
I need protection from the government. I don't need the government trying to protect my interests.
But that's the difference today versus what we previously had. This group wants to think it's the mommy state. They think they know better, and they want to protect everything they do. It's to comfort us and to give us the intent of helping us, but really, they're not helping us. They're only hurting us because they know better.
Ultimately, there would be no committee if they didn't think that they were missing out. If they didn't think it was something that needed to be taxed, if they didn't think that it was something that would threaten their way of life and take away power from their positions and with the federal government and all the power that the federal government has. If they knew that everybody was going to take their fiat and go crypto, it scares the living pants out of them. Because they have no treasury, they have no balance sheet, they have nothing, because it's all built on the U.S. dollar and us needing and the whole illusion that there's a scarcity of money, where we're realizing that the government has they don't know scarcity. If they need it, they print it.
Right.
For the rest of us, it's scarcity. There's a finite amount of it. But honestly, even most of us are beyond that illusion that there is a finite amount of money. No, there's tons of money. There's so much of it that we keep printing it out of thin air. Okay, apparently it grows on trees. Like they're like all those like money doesn't grow. I'm like, yes, it does, and it's called the federal government. And the Treasury just has that magical tree that they just keep taking money from. And so when it gets to the point where people are kind of seeing past what exactly the position is that the U.S. government has, and how they all the time, with inflation and everything else, they're devaluing our currency. Of course, they're threatened, because then it takes the power away from them, because that really is the only power that they really have. And we got to beg for them for grants. We got to beg for them for scholarships. We got to beg for them for anything else as far as get money to help start a business or anything else. We need the federal government, and honestly, we really don't. What we need to do is just keep more of our money, stop getting taxed by all these little ways. And I think they're just trying to find another way to find a loophole where the government can get in between us and our crypto. They want to be a regulatory authority. They want to find out how they can fit into this whole scheme so that they could find another way to generate revenue, which they're just going to spend, in the most unrelenting and irresponsible way.
And kill crypto.
Well, no, I think they just want to get in between it, just like everything else.
They'll kill it.
Well,
Anyway.
I think it's pretty clear that crypto is not going anywhere. Visa is betting on it. I don't think that they would start a crypto consultancy.
Is it a consultancy? Is that what they're calling it?
Yes. They have launched a crypto consultancy to drive a mainstream adoption. So Visa is betting on the fair outcomes and good success of crypto, and I think that it's here to stay. I mean, regulation is we need regulation so there can be a more clear guideline.
Well, it's called the blockchain.
Well, right now, like for example, in stable coins, like the government wants to regulate stable coins and say that certain people are not allowed to issue them, but yet these stable coin holders will not grant access to the banks to issue them. So if they're regulating who can issue them, and they're not giving anybody acceptance to issue them. So there needs to be some more clear regulation. Everybody's just trying to figure it out.
They want the good old boys, okay? They want the Carnegie Mellons. They want the Chase Manhattans. They want the players who have been in it for the longest time, to be the gatekeepers, just like they've had. And that's why there's losers. That's why there's no more Lehman Brothers, and that's why you only have like the four big ones: a Wells Fargo, a Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, Chase Manhattan. So you have these big high profile, and that's all. And it's easy for the Fed to just organize those few big banks, right? Because they know them all independently, and each of them bounce from a treasury position back to a CEO position of a bank, and they go back and forth, and they're all it's an
cyclical.
Yeah, I mean it's a good old boy network.
Yep.
And we're not in it.
Right.
Okay, it's a
So
club, and not
gift.
everybody's invited.
What a gift that we have been given. We have been given this gift of cryptocurrency and of Bitcoin, and it's such an amazing time to be alive. It's such an amazing thing to be a part of, and to be able to get involved in such an early infancy, like we talked about the S-curve last week with technology adoption life cycles. Like, to be able to have this opportunity is so great and so grand, and I'm just so happy to be able to experience it and share it with all of you guys.
I mean, I'm in it you've been doing it a lot longer than me, and I know Jesse's been doing it. I mean, I'm having a blast. I mean, from where I was 6 months ago, and now I'm looking at charts. I'm looking in the middle of the night, looking at red and green.
Those are stoplights.
Stoplights.
You need to pull over and go back to bed. But yeah,
I
it's
find
exciting.
It fun. It's exciting. There's so much.
And it's 24 hours.
It's 24 hours a day. You know, I get the Wall Street Journal because they had a special, Black Friday special. So every day there's great articles in the Wall Street Journal on crypto now. Every day. Every day there's great articles. So it's here. It's we talked about last week's great show on NFTs and the metaverse.
Yeah.
I mean, if folks, it's a whole new world, and this is why the government's scared. I mean, because it's moving so quick, and I think that these old codgers that we have, it's beyond them. I mean, I have a hard time sometimes.
It's not. First of all, it's not in their lifetime. They have nothing to worry about. They're these career politicians. Some of those which should not be named. They're not. I mean, let's be honest. They're expiring in the next 15 years. This isn't their future.
That long?
They're trying to hold on. I'm being generous. No,
you're right. You're right.
But honestly, I mean, the next 15 years they're gonna expire between now and then. So this has nothing to do with them. The next 15 years. I mean, and I'm speaking to that 20-year-old who's like, Jesse, tell me more about this metaverse. Tell me more about NFTs. Tell me more about what I should do. Should I get a graphic design, a skill set? Do I need to, get on Photoshop and Illustrator and all these programs and start making digital assets? And I would say, yes, go for it. Not that I could say it's going to be, I mean, now that it's new, things are very exciting and things are moving. There's a lot of money coming in because of the FOMO effect. And as it becomes more mainstream, where there's a lot more product in the space, when there's now comic books being transferred and musical rights and then all these other commodities that are being into that NFT kind of mainstream. There's going to be so many things that are going to be transferred. It is going to be mainstream, and there's going to be jobs where people, and I believe everything from, and we've had this conversation before, everything from deeds of a house, that's also going to be digitized. And that's also going to convey every time a house is sold, or any property, boat titles, any kind of title for vehicles. All these things that are now paper, they're going to have a digital counterpart. And there's going to be people that need to take that paper trail, essentially, digitize it, and make it a digital thing for the blockchain.
Digitize and tokenize.
I swear.
Yeah.
And so this is these are all career fields I see coming up. Plus, cybersecurity and everything else. People protecting these things.
So
from
it's
hackers.
time to upskill, right?
Yeah.
You should be learning about this
But
stuff.
Upskill, yes.
Here's something interesting. We were talking about going back quickly to NFTs and the future. I was looking at just looking because my Jets suck this year. But the Jets the Jets are playing the Miami Dolphins, and I like to go down and see the Jets play the Dolphins, but they suck so bad.
I like to go down and see the Dolphins beat the Jets.
Right, but for the first few limited, they're giving NFTs out to a limited number of people coming into the stadium.
Sure.
Used to get baseball hat day or bat day.
I remember.
Now it's
NFT day.
An NFT day. Your favorite team scarf. Now it's NFT. So I just wanted to bring that up because my head started going. Wait a minute. I just remembered seeing.
And in the future,
that was show prep. So if I go to that game, I can write that as part of my taxes for show prep, right?
Sure.
Well,
right?
in the future,
you're not getting paid to do the show, so I don't. There's no.
Sure, I am.
There's no taxes.
Sure, I am.
There are no taxes to withdraw from, and and not for nothing.
These are all valid points.
Yes, but I would say that this show is definitely more geared toward the younger generation.
I think so. Yes.
If for instance, your generation, the boomers, I think this is a great time for them to leverage whatever they can, in these moments, because even if they just figure it out for a little bit, maybe they just collect a couple NFTs. They don't know why, but that's going to be something legacy where 2 generations after your grandkids' kids are going to be like, wow, man, great Pappy Joey, has these NFTs for the last 100 years or whatever, and they find the record, they log onto your old account, and they're worth, who knows how much, you could be, you could have a living legacy that is passed down generation to generation.
We're on YouTube now. I think we'll be in it for infancies.
Who knows? So all I'm saying, Joey, is that now is a great time for your generation, Gen Xers, and like my generation, and whatever generation Jennifer is, millennials, especially.
You're a millennial? You're one of them?
So I think the millennials are going to be the creators.
There we go.
The boomers are going to be kind of like the investor class, since they have, they're sitting on most of the wealth.
Once again, we got to support everybody's asses. Is that what it is? We got to carry this country.
So that's not where I was going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, you're not carrying anybody's asses. What I'm saying is you have the means to help the following generations, help them secure a position, or help them, with the financing. And only because, the boomers do hold the wealth. And it goes, soon it's going to be Gen Xers. We're going to get passed down the wealth. And it happens,
they actually said, that's a very good point. They actually said that the what are you, Gen X? Gen X will inheriting, I think they say, will be receiving almost $4.6 trillion in inheritance. That's what they anticipate from the baby boomer generation.
Why do you think there is a death tax?
Well, I know that.
There's inheritance taxes. There's all these things. So
that's a huge amount of money.
But this is a great way for your generation to avoid those taxes by getting out of fiat and into the crypto space before it's taxed to oblivion.
Yeah.
Because that's coming.
Yep. Cool stuff. What do you think, Jennifer?
No, it's really awesome. I'm ready to inherit some of that money myself.
Yeah, me too, right?
Yeah, I would like to be on the receiving end of this wealth transfer. And listen, with all market crashes and, boom and bust, it's like the money doesn't disappear. It just changes hands. And so if you can be on the right side of the future and on the right side of these investments, then you're going to end up a winner. And it's an awesome thing to be a part of. So I'm excited.
And that's the one thing that you see in everything you read. Jesse and I, we're on Reddit a lot. And when you're on Reddit, you see all these people that are new to any kind of investing. They just panic. It's like they just panic. And you just have to hold and just watch and buy when it dips. And they just...
Money has no place for emotion.
No.
It's not an emotional thing. Do you go to work and cry the whole time? You just work, and then you get the money, and there's no crying from your, I can't believe I'm giving you money. No, it's just these are it's just money, guys. And there's and when you're invested in something, you have to believe in it. And there are going to be people trying to scare you out of your money. These are not good people.
Right.
Okay. The same people that are trying to scare you into doing something you don't want to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody has to scare you in order for you to take action, these are not people. These are not your friends. These are manipulators. These are people who are only looking out for themselves and their own good. So anytime somebody says scarcity, like you better get it now, or it's not going to last, or or you better sell today before you lose all your money and you're going to be destitute. Anytime there's fear involved, you have to think of why are they. What's going to be in it for them? Why should I? Because again, fear belongs nowhere near money, finances, or business in general. I mean, emotions don't belong in any of those categories. Business decisions need to be made with a rational head, not an emotional head. Okay, and that goes for, again, how you spend money, how you earn money, and anything else that has to do with money. There's no emotions involved. It just is. Okay, so. Do your research.
Well, that's easier
do your
said
logic,
than done.
Do your rationalize. No, because.
But that's what the market fundamentals are based on. It's based on emotion, and that's how the swings are.
Well, every single decision.
The market reacts to emotions, and so when you can learn to do the opposite of what your emotions are telling you to do, that's when you win.
Right, and when everybody else is crying like get out, and panicking. Don't drink the panicking. Drink the Heineken and relax, okay?
Yeah.
Avoid the panicking.
Yeah, and like Jesse said, do your research. I mean, if you start reading all the Reddits or you go on a Facebook page, you have these people that are just scaring the hell out of you. Just sit back, just watch. And if you got panicked, like the last 2 weeks was a great test. Like Jesse said, we saw 68 to 49 to 42. Shiba was up at 0.0008, and then it went all the way to 3.7. It's going back up. Everything's green, then it's red. It's going to be volatile. And a lot of this is also new. Yet it hasn't found its consolidation, is that what they call it too? And it's gonna have an ebb and flow.
Right. And that's just life. There's going to be good days and bad days. What you have to do, and I heard a really good cliche regarding the market. Sometimes you have to zoom out a little bit, but it was like this really cool, like rhymey cliche. Zoom out. Okay, look at the macro.
When in doubt, zoom out.
That's it.
Oh,
I think that's it.
That's it.
When in doubt, zoom out. Because here's what happens. When you do look at the macro, the year view. Bitcoin is still up 1,000 fucking points, dude. It went from like 25 to like 60 in 1 year. Okay, it's still winning. So if you see that little dip, all that means it's on sale, 25% off. Go fucking buy it. Well, okay, but when in doubt, zoom out.
When in doubt, zoom out. But listen,
we are gonna coin that motherfucker.
But this is not.
That's our headline this week.
This is not by accident, though. If you look at like Coinbase, for example, they show a 15-minute time frame, right? Because they want to show everything going up or going down in exaggeration. So when in doubt, zoom out, because when you're looking at it on your phone, majority of the time you're looking at a 5 to 15-minute time frame.
It defaults at the hour.
Yeah.
And it's just like brr, 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 brr. Up, down, up, down. I get notifications and of course I got to open up my app and I got notifications. It's like Ethereum's down 5. Okay, wait 30 minutes. Ethereum's up 5. But again, it wants to always keep you coming back to the app because that's how they get you excited about it. Like, oh well, it's down 5%. Maybe now it's time to buy. And of course they're making money on every transaction. So,
all right, well,
they're in business of getting your attention.
So when in doubt, zoom out. We're going to close on that.
That's the word of the day.
That's a phrase of the week.
Phrase of the week.
Yes.
Phrase of the week.
Phrase of the
week. That's going to be a new segment.
Yep.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the CryptoWave podcast.
Thank you, everybody.
If you would like to find more information, you can email me at Jennifer@SpaceCoastCryptoConsulting.com.
Say it louder.
Jennifer.
Good.
At SpaceCoastCryptoConsulting.com.
Let them know, girl.
Yes.
This has been another fun episode of your CryptoWave podcast.
Bye, everybody.
Subscribe, click the bell, leave a comment. We love you guys. Share this with friends and neighbors and a congresswoman that lives next door.
And just bleep out Jesse's foul language today.
Share us where you watch us.
Bye.